Hi, Design Pros. Welcome to the Lunch and Learn Business Growth Series. I'm Elsa Johnson, your host and founder of Elsa Johnson Coaching, where I guide my clients to lead with intention and thrive by design. This series is designed for you, interior designers and window coverings business owners who are ready to level up, attract more clients, and grow with confidence. Each month, I bring in industry experts to share game-changing strategies that you can apply right away. No fluff, no sales pitches, just real value to help you thrive. So grab your notes, get inspired, and don't forget, subscribe to the channel for more expert insights and updates. You'll find all the event details and contact information for myself and the industry experts in the notes below. Ready to grow? Let's dive in. Good morning, good morning. We are already in September 10th today, and we are talking today with Morris Meyer on our business growth series for window coverings and design professionals. Morris and I have met through another group, and I'm really excited to share with you his story today because he has been in the industry for many years. And he brings a wealth of information and a wealth of knowledge and just experiences that everybody can gain some insights from and learn from. So I will, without further ado, I will, have Morris share what he does and then what he, what he does. We have another participant showing up, so that's why I'm a little distracted. I apologize, but Morris, take it away from here.
All right. Well, thank you also for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm Morris Meyer. I run Plaza Park Interiors, as well as Plaza Park Cleaning Services, as well as the White Room at 707, which is our custom furniture showroom, but it's also a workspace for professional development, and we give presentations and workshops and host Chamber of Commerce meetings and things like that. So all encompassing. We also are ready to launch R2A custom furniture frames, which is custom furniture frames to the trade for other workrooms and trade professionals. So if you do your own upholstery, we could do the carpentry work for you. That we're closing on that hopefully in the next 2 weeks. It's been in the running. I've been in the industry since 1987. I started as an installer's helper down on the Lower East Side of New York City, doing an installer helper's job, pinning, steaming, carrying the stuff up, stapling on boards, cleaning up, putting stuff away. Then I moved into the stock person position, warehouse managing, putting away all the fabrics and things like that. And then I went into sales, and then I went into contract drapery. Then I started a business, closed it, then had to, after 9/11, reinvent. Then I went to work for another company. And back in 2013, I decided to launch Plaza Park Interiors, which is our custom workroom. And we're on our 13th year. So very excited. We opened in February of 2013. That's my story. And what I'm here to present today is basically I want to share five specific experience lessons that I've learned that were costly mistakes, and this is monetary mistakes, as well as some questioning like why this would happen and things like that, and how, overcoming that. And these things lead to less profitability, mistakes, and things like that. So if I could do anything to assist and prevent you with some of these mistakes, my job will be completed.
That is fantastic. I will remove myself off spotlight now, Morris, and then you have the floor with your presentation. I know you have some slides for us. So I am so excited to hear all the things that you can share with us and help other people not make the same mistake.
Okay, so great. I'm going to share my screen here. All right, can you see the screen here?
Certainly can. Thank you.
Okay, so it's the name of this is the 5 costly lessons I learned the hard way. We call it, I started calling it tuition a little while ago. So these are 5 things. And today we're going to dive into the 5 crucial lessons that basically cost you money, stress your client relationships, burn out your team. So if we could avoid this, we build stronger teams, we become more profitable, more sustainable, and our people feel better about themselves. Both our designers, our staff, and our team. It's great for morale. So let's see here. Okay, so the first one, these are the 5 that I'm going to be going with. One is assuming all windows are the same. And I'm going to go straight to that one. These are the 5 if you want to take a look. I can offer a PDF version of this at the end if you want to send out with the replay. That's fine. So assuming all windows are the same, you go into a house, and one of my first big contract jobs was a hotel in Times Square. It had 178 windows. I remember it clearly. I went in, I think I had maybe 6 or 8 years of experience, but maybe a year or 2 on the field to go measure. So I sold the job and I measured it, and the engineer said there's 178 windows. There's about, I think, 150 guest rooms. It'll take forever to get into every guest room. So don't worry, room 1102, I'll give you 1 room on each line, 1 or 2 rooms. You take the measurements, and those are the same going throughout the whole building. Nothing's the same. All the windows are the same size. So for those of us that are seasoned, that's a no-brainer. Like, that's a big red flag. But to be me being very new and early on in my career, I was like, oh, this is great. They're all the same. I don't have to come back for weeks to measure. And, they weren't. As you see in the photo, they were Hunter Douglas. When they first came out with cordless wood blinds, these were one of the first year they came out, we offered them to this hotel. And we measured, and of course, they were about 30 to 40 of them came in too wide and some too narrow. What happened was we wasted like a full day. Instead of where each room was marked, we had to go, oh, this will fit here in 1102. You go to, 903, will that fit? It was a complete nightmare. So wasted a full day of help and everything, just with the logistics, trying to see what would fit and then what was left and then what we had to cut. And then at that time, we never cut wood blinds before. So I had to call in, for help to, get those cut, finish the edges to make sure they're not raw. So that was a big mistake, assuming every window, is the same. No matter what they tell you, oh, the builder was great. Everything's the same. If you have, 6, 10, 20 windows, 50 or 100 windows, measure them all, no matter what. Don't take anything for granted, because that was several $1,000 mistake. At that time, I didn't have my own business. I worked for someone else, and they didn't actually give me the know-how to say, when I brought the job back, they didn't actually say, oh, listen, you should have, you should go back. There's no way we're doing this based on everything being the same. But the person I worked for, now realizing at the time, wow, they should have really picked that up and backed me up with the experience and said, listen, you got to go back. So I'm giving this lesson to make sure you measure every single window, no matter what. It'll save your rework, save your reputation. That's lesson number 1 that I learned. Lesson number 2 is speaking in aesthetic jargon. Speak their language. It's clarity over jargon. So what I mentioned here, it's easy to forget that clients don't know our language. We'll say Europleat or ripple fold, and they'll nod, but they'll often have a completely, different picture in their head what it looks like. So I want a pinch pleat. Like years ago, when I started, and probably the first 30 years out of the 38 years, or maybe 25 years, a pinch pleat was 3-finger tack on the bottom, no matter what. Ripple fold was ripples with a snap. Then if they said a French pleat, oh, we do 3 from the top. Now people say pinch pleat, any kind of pinch, top or bottom, could be a pinch pleat. So early on, when someone would say pinch pleat, they said, oh, no, we do these from the top, our pinch pleats. I go, no, that's not a pinch pleat traditionally. So we, instead of saying Europeat, instead of mentioning the pleat, you could say what it is, but you should accompany a photo with it. Is this what you mean by a pinch pleat? Because a pinch pleat could be a 2-finger top tack, 3-finger top tack, 2-finger bottom tack, 3-finger bottom tack. So pinch pleat right now is pretty much, just generic. It's not a specific type of pleat. It's sort of generic to the consumer. So the key takeaway is show samples show sample photos and make sure. And then on our invoices, we say 2 pairs of 3-finger top tack. We don't mention the name of the pleat or anything unless it's like we say it's ripple fold or 4-inch box pleats, and we have an image shown to them. So we mentioned 3-finger bottom tack. If they mention pinch pleat, we may put that in parentheses, but we'll put what we're giving them and then a photo of them. So that's really, that was very important because I had to redo some headings because of the misunderstanding. They're like, well, our other workroom, they knew what we meant by pinch pleat. It's 2-finger at the top. This is modern. We want a modern pinch pleat. And so it's really asking the questions and, realizing that they don't know our jargon, and make it as foolproof as possible, showing them photos and giving them the more details, the better. So that was lesson number 2. I've had a couple of those before we implemented a set system in our office. Okay. Number 3, failing to define functional expectations. When we say the main thing is on blackout shades, hey, I want blackout. Say, okay, is blackout, is that a result, or is that like an idea, or is that what you're saying? Do you want to sleep now when I go out? I want blackout. Do you want no light coming in? Do you want to be in a cave where there's no peep of light? That's different than, say, room darkening. So I try to mix it up with saying, all right, some people just want to sleep with the room dark, and even if a little bit of light comes in, but the room is still dark, but you still get those peeps of light. And then you have clients that just want to be in a cave. I don't want to see a thing. I want no light coming through. So at the consult, then I make sure that the designer, because we're working with the trade and I'm there with the client, I'll ask the client. If the designer doesn't ask them, which most of them don't, they'll say blackout, and they'll just think it's going to be blackout. And until there's a complaint where there's light leakage, then you have to sort of explain it. So I try to get that idea up front that, okay, you will have some light leakage here if you're doing a Roman shade, even if it's inside or outside, unless you do a drapery or something to cover it, you're going to have a little light leakage, but if the room is still dark. But if you want a complete cave, that's a completely different, it might not be what you're trying to put. I want a blackout Roman. Maybe that doesn't work with what the client likes, because they want to sleep in a cave, and a blackout Roman is not going to give you 100% light blockage. So that's happened time and time again. It even slips through the cracks here or there, even to the day, where client, designer, and workroom expectations of what the degree of blackout is. I find that specifically with all of the different lining types. So that was number 3. So number 4. So that was here. Okay, number 4, lacking a bulletproof paper trail. That was a big one. The he said, she said nightmare, where client asked for a certain fabric, or they changed the fabric. I want welt. Oh, you know what? Take the welt off. I want the banding. The banding should go on the bottom. The banding should go an inch from the top. All of these different variations of details. Sometimes they'll say, I used to take it over the phone. This is before all the emails and back and forth. Even some people in an email right now we'll approve it. They have to confirm it. Oh, you told me over the phone. Right away, we're putting in an email to them. Here, you confirmed it. Here's the updated invoice that has all of the details in it, whether you said, all right, control left, control right, or the banding details. That all gets put on the invoice to every detail. And when there's a change, that was something early on that we didn't get approvals on. Well, I told them I wanted it up to the ceiling. I was like, well, it says, install 3 inches below. Yeah, but I spoke to someone in your office, or I called and I told the measurer, or I told this person. So right now it's documenting any change, whatever you have. A lot of people watching this may already have this, but this is for the newbie, maybe just starting out, that will just say, that just, by themselves, they have one assistant. You need to document everything. They'll call up, oh, do you want, what kind of pleat do you want? Oh, okay, pinch pleat, back and forth. Don't just take their word for it. Put it in writing, and make sure they acknowledge it, and then require explicit approval before proceeding. So there's no surprises on the final invoice, no disputes at the end of the job. The installer goes out, there's no questions, because generally he's left in the middle there, supposed to go to the ceiling instead of 3 down. He has the instructions for 3 inches down, and the client thinks something different. This way, all of the paperwork is uniform from the installer to the workroom to the designer, to the client. So all the expectations are made throughout that whole chain. So I found that was a big mistake over the course of the years, not having that paper trail and just going with, like I say, a wink and a handshake. Like, oh yeah, that's fine. Oh, we'll add it. Oh, don't worry. Oh, you want to change it from blackout line to regular line? Okay. And then you get distracted. You don't write it on the paperwork. Goes out to the floor, gets blackout lined. It's like, all right, please just put it in writing to me. Don't tell me verbally. Put it in an email so the team could see it. Okay, and then the last and final one is chasing balance instead of creating harmony. Invest in your team with trust and autonomy, which means the final mistake that destroys company culture is treating people like machines. People often are searching, we hear about like work-life balance. Oh, I need to do work. Oh, then I'll go home and do work. I won't do work in the morning. I'll do this in the morning. And they have to balance it. And then they find themselves, and I found myself in the same struggle. That's why I have this as lesson number 5 is, oh, I don't have enough family life. Oh, I didn't spend enough time with the family. Oh, I didn't spend enough time at work. Why? I should have did that quote instead of watching my kids game. So balancing it, and what I've come up with is work-life harmony, which in one of my coaching programs, they sort of brought that to my attention, which recognizes team members as whole people that have the family lives, and integrating it from the start. And our schedules and our teamwork and our workroom and our operations are based on the principle of the work-life harmony. So if you have, doctor's appointments, or you have to watch a kid's game or this or that, just you put it on the calendar and you work around it. So I allow most staff that need it and that can use that, we offer flexible scheduling. They come and go, oh, I'm going to work from 10 to 6. I'm going to work from 8 to 4. I'm going to work from, 2 to 6, or I'm going to come in 2 days a week if it's possible for a remote position. So we have this work-life harmony where you don't feel like you have to run and find the balance. So if you have to spend time, and bring your kid to school for an afternoon meeting, you don't have to worry. It's nothing like, oh, can I take off? We just put it on the calendar and that's it. We all understand our schedules, and it's giving the people that freedom where they don't have to feel guilty asking for some time off to get some balance. Maybe there's an afternoon game at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe a playoff game or something. Okay, I'm not going to be available for that hour or something like that. So we try to, put that as much as possible. And that's with our workroom staff, our office staff. As long as the work gets done in the workroom, they don't have to show up at 8, they don't have to show up at 9. They each have different hours. Some come in on a Sunday, some come in on a Saturday. Instead, some like to sleep late on Saturday. So they sleep late on Saturday, they'll, work late Friday night. So we have, both, we sort of integrate everything. So, and that avoids like worker burnout, that, it just avoids a lot of uncomfortableness, having to ask, oh, I have doctor appointments, I have this, I have that. they can, oh, let me try to find something after work. No, you have to take care of something medical, and it's 11 o'clock in the afternoon, you just go. Maybe you'll finish what you have to do at home. If not, whatever it is could wait. So, and what happens is you get a more engaged team members, and, it's just more engaging. People appreciate you more. And here's how we put it into practice. We establish project goals. Team members create their own schedules to meet them while honoring their life outside of work. Time off isn't requested, it's scheduled. So they have access to the master schedule. They don't ask for permission. They add it to the calendar. They schedule responsibly, and then they're treated with that dignity and respect of being being a human being, and not just, running the grind of what I have of what we have to do here. So the recap and the path forward is, the lessons are: measure every window, every time. The time you save by assuming will be paid tenfold in reworks. It's worth spending the hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, a week, depending on the size of the job. Measure every single window. That was number one. Number two is speak their language. Clarity over jargon. Show samples and photos for everything. Too much information is enough information. Then define functional expectations. Do not sell a product, sell a precisely defined outcome. So you want to define the outcome, like blackout or room darkening, or if it's sheer, I want to be able to see out, or I want light to come through, the privacy lining. So sell the outcome as opposed to just, oh, this is a Roman shade. What do you want to accomplish with this Roman shade? What's the look? Generally, the designer will ask them that, but you as a workroom, if you're a workroom watching this, you're going to have to listen along and sort of lead the designer down the road to how they achieve that outcome, functionally with the product that they're doing, and letting them know that what they want is not going to achieve it 100%, and then give them alternatives, whether they want to go with that or go with something different. Number 4 is create a bulletproof paper trail, document and get approval for every change. And then number 5 is create work-life harmony. Treat team members as whole people. Then I have a challenge for everyone today. Pick one of these mistakes that you might be making and commit to fixing it this week. That small change can have a huge impact on your business. So if you don't have a foolproof paper trail, put one in order. Then stay smart, stay sharp, and whatever you do, my saying is, don't crush the velvet. And now it's time for some Q&A. Thank you for everybody for having me on this presentation. I'm going to stop sharing the screen.
Thank you very much, Morris. I think listening to what you're saying, there's a golden thread through all of it, and it's about communication. Make sure that you communicate, like you said, the outcome, the expectations. And I just think that was fantastic. Thank you for sharing this with us. I'm sure that many people can relate, and I'm sure that these will absolutely help some, like you said, newbies in the industry, maybe even people who've been there for a long time. A thing like paper trails, I know, can be absolutely devastating. So with that, the official portion of the video here will end, and we'll go into some Q&A. So we will drop off for the public viewing and have a private discussion here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.